October arrived, as it always does, like a warm hug. A show of colours glimmering in the garden, catching your eye as you saunter past windows, and a sense of content as the days wind down and the time spent at home grows. There were still dahlias and cosmos to pick in the garden, and apple picking was beckoning from our tree. It also marked the beginning of a new project here at the Bluestone Villa. Finally, we were picking up our tools again and starting on the top floor bedroom.
I think it might be.
One day to be our main spare room and an office for me. First on the list was opening the old Victorian fireplace.
Ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready. Oh my god!
Nothing in there.
Nothing in there. Well, we knew it was a possibility, but
It's pretty clean.
ow.
Right, do you want me to carry on?
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty thick plasterboard, that.
I know. I was sick of. I really was like, are we cutting in the right place? Wow. I feel like we're opening up a tomb.
Don't say that.
Wow.
That's the top of it there. Then obviously we take the wood out.
Yeah, they obviously put that into. Oh, it's a shame they got rid of the original thing.
But quite a clean space.
You notice the stuff in there is a bit like when. Do you remember when they did our fireplace downstairs? They covered it up with a piece of cardboard like that.
Yeah.
It was stuck to the thing.
Done. Just do the dustpan and brush, really.
I can go and get that. I can go and get that.
And so we've cleared everything out, all of the rubble. You can see where the original fireplace would have been, or the insert anyway. October was going to be busy, so the first opportunity I got, I took the drive over with my sister to one of our favourite places for pumpkin picking, Whitefinch Bakery in Mepham, Kent.
That is really round and very, very uniformed. You put your hand in mud.
The drive home brought a new definition to smashing pumpkins, and James had me cleaning the car for at least 30 minutes after I returned. One of the things that James and I have really got into in the last year is having Sunday tea, and I kind of think of this as a really old-fashioned English tradition, and so we don't do it every week, and obviously now that we're in autumn winter we will start having roast dinners some weekends as well, but it's definitely something that we've done more so in these kind of autumn winter months as well, so I guess it's like another traditional ritual that we've started to welcome. And a traditional Sunday tea to me is kind of things like scones, however you say it, and maybe like bread and jam, or cheese and pickles and maybe some ham, and I'm not talking about even like the fancy Spanish or Italian hams, you know, just like traditional kind of like basic hams that you might have got many moons ago. You might make a cake or make little cakes, sausage rolls, pickled eggs, I don't know, like there's a whole host of things I think you can do, and we don't do the same thing every week. I usually try and maybe make at least one thing of it because I just enjoy cooking, so for me that's kind of a little bit of a relaxation element as well, and I take great pride in my cooking as well. But this weekend has been pretty full on. I had a friend's 40th birthday yesterday and I went out this morning pumpkin picking, so I've not really been at home much, and so I have actually bought everything in. So I have bought for this, I saw some cheese scones in Sainsbury's, so I picked up those. I don't know how good these would be. I would prefer to get them from like a farm shop or something, or like more of like a local baker's, but I've been busy, so I saw these in Sainsbury's, and actually somebody that one of my neighbours commented on one of my Instagram posts about cheese scones, and she makes some awesome great cheese scones. It got me in the mood for them. And I've got some ham, I've got some truffle cheddar that I bought that actually I had a bit of last night, and again I got it from Sainsbury's, limited edition. It's Barber's truffle cheddar. Run, don't walk to go and pick that up. It's honestly incredible. I think it's like one of the best truffle cheddars I've ever tasted. And then the pièce de la résistance. When I went pumpkin picking, we went to Whitefinch Bakery, which is in Mepham in Kent, and they do amazing cakes. So Whitefinch Bakery and where we went pumpkin picking is like the same place. So Pippa runs Whitefinch Bakery, that's her baby, and then her brother does the growing of the pumpkins, and they do sunflowers in summer and all of that jazz. And we picked up one of probably the most famous things that they do there, which is their cinnamon buns. They're honestly so delicious. They're like a big cinnamon Belgian bun. They look and taste utterly delicious. So yeah, I'm gonna set up our tea.
So let's put that there for the moment. And then
Early October also saw the arrival of a very exciting addition here at the Bluestone Villa. We finally settled on a rug for the living room, which if you've been around here for a while, you will know has been a massive bone of contention.
because I was thinking what we could then do.
Do you want to give me the rug?
Yeah, just be careful where you put that, because I don't think you want to lay it on that.
No.
You can lay it on over there for a sec. Just watch out for those, that bit over there, yeah.
Be careful. move that this bit away a bit, or?
So, what I'm thinking is you probably want to see up here, don't you?
Yeah.
I've lined it up with that, with the pinstripe along there. So I think what we have to do is put the rug down,
start to put that
put stuff back over here,
and then put the other thing.
So you want it facing this way. So
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense, right? Because you'd walk into the room and you'd be looking at the...
if you could grab that end.
Yeah.
Right, then
But
we'll lay
the
it
flowers
back.
coming.
Yeah. And then let's fold it. Well, in fact, actually, let's open it up.
Yeah. I'm just trying, it's just cool. I don't know what to do.
And then let's plonk it down like that.
I don't know if it's straight.
And that's fine, we can work this out in a second. And then let's grab that. Now let's fold that into the middle. And if you can lift your end up.
Yeah.
Do you want it further over so you've got more room over here?
I just think...
That will flatten down at that end.
No, I know. I just think, well, first of all, do you really want to lift this all up and shimmy it over a bit? I don't think I want to.
No.
I'm broadly happy with this.
Cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
And I definitely like the rug. I feel like it's just what we needed for this room. Like the pattern's perfect. Like the colours are good.
And as the month rolled on, I picked some of the last flowers from the garden, dressed our table for special autumnal dinners, and generally hunkered down, preparing for the days to draw in. Need a Hoover at some point.
What I might do when we get our new shed, because it's got that storage area on the end,
Yeah.
is I might buy a metal bin with a lid and then fill it with kindling, like if we buy a big sack so you know you've got it in there and it's dry.
Yeah.
I don't know, I might do that one.
That makes sense.
I might do that, I might not.
See what happens when you give people advice. I hope you told them not to. Just gave your boyfriend very bad advice.
Can we smoke your little fire, my little pal?
I think that would be nice.
I was going to grab a bag and I was actually going to get rid of some of that ash.
On your birthday? Yeah, I want to put some time. Cheated on you a lot this weekend. Oh my God, now maybe you're right. Maybe I love you some. I deserve to be treated with respect.
I can't quite believe that October is over and that it ended in the way that it did. I got an awful kind of norovirus sickness bug a week before Halloween, and there were so many things that I had intended to do that I just hadn't managed to, and I planned to do that weekend before Halloween, and it just didn't happen. I didn't even put my pumpkins outside until maybe the Tuesday before Halloween, which is really unlike me. And obviously I went back at the beginning of October to even go and pick them, but I've had a really busy month, and then with being sick as well, it just kind of didn't happen. And it's done, it's over now. I was well enough for trick-or-treating and Halloween in the end, and the kids around here cleared me out by 6:45, and they started at just after 5. And it's time to put my decorations away. I can't believe that I'm going to be going back to our kind of regular autumn decorations before then, obviously the big switch again in December. But I thought I would run through some of my Halloween decorations. I have done a Halloween house tour before, but I tend to use the same things. I've collected them over a really long time, many years, but I tend to always style them slightly differently. And mostly in this room, which is our living room, or the drawing room as it would have been known back in the Victorian times when this house was built. I find it so interesting because actually this room back originally would have been a room that was used the least out of any of them in the house. It would have just been used for special occasions and would only be kind of if you had guests over, that kind of thing. And the room that they would have used the most downstairs would have been what is now our dining room, which is the room behind this. And it's funny that I know 140 years is a really long time, and it's also a not so long time as well rolled into one, but that's totally switched. This is the room that we use the most, and that's why a lot of these decorations sit within here. But the mantelpiece is really the main focus, and as I said, I tend to use the same decorations, but I switch things up. And actually, even looking at pictures from last year, I hadn't realised actually how different this looks from last year. So I have either end some of these metal pumpkins. One just lights up and the other one you put a tea light in. This one is far nicer. This was from James's mum for him when he lived alone in his flat. This one I like way less, and I don't always get it out, but I did this year just for the symmetry. But I keep it because it was awarded to me as carving the best pumpkin at a company I worked at back in, I think it was maybe 2016. And then I have these pumpkin lights that definitely needed new batteries and we didn't sort it, but I've had these probably for about 20 years. And same goes for these pumpkin candles and my little ghost candles. I'm very much somebody that believes in lighting things, lighting your candles, using your things. I'm not somebody that has kind of show things or anything like that. But I do think these are just brilliant, and I just think it's great to be able to bring them out every year, so I don't like them for that reason. Sparkly pumpkins that James's mum bought me. I think it was James's mum a couple of years ago. I have probably the thing that stands out the most as the thing that maybe I don't like most. Sorry, Sue, if you're watching this. Is she also bought us this little ghost. He's a bit garish because he flashes. So maybe not my favourite, but I let him come out regardless. And then I have another tea light holder. Again, I've had this for years. And then I have my Halloween bags, which are very, very special because I bought these in October 2005. And they are now probably uber vintage because they were from a store called the Christmas Tree Store in Massachusetts. I think they were a chain. I don't know whether that was just in New England or Massachusetts specifically, but I think they went into administration in the last few years and they don't exist anymore, but I bought them there and I bought a number for basically my family. So they still have some as well at their house, and then I have a couple here. And then everything else otherwise in here is mostly things like I have a number of different like HomeSense candles that I'll bring out every year and burn a little bit, and then they'll kind of go back in the box. And then my favorite, which is Morag, my little felt mouse switch. I have a real thing for like felt mice, and I have at least one for like every season now. I think I just love them, they're adorable. And then I have my boo sign that I always stick on my living room door. And then I have a wreath that I tend to put on our cupboard door, but I actually put it on a window in the dining room this year. And that is pretty much it. Those are mostly kind of all of the things. I usually buy a new decoration every year, and yeah, dressing my home and kind of being able to kind of get into the festivities and the spirit of things is one of my favorite things. And I did it much later this year than I would normally, and I didn't get to enjoy it as much, but it still gave me a little bit of a boost. And now it's time to take it all down. These from a great shop here in Tunbridge Wells called Jeremy's Home Store, and we had some of these when my mum went to Canada and the States in 1997, and she brought some of these back. You like stuff them with like, I don't know, toilet paper or something, and then you hang them from a tree. And where I was sick, I just totally forgot about them. These are on for next year, I suppose.